course of providing intervention was the issue of investment in network area.
This was
I'm telling you.
Even the last complaint, we had people mentioning that they did this. Wow.
Okay, the issue of you could see people that presented themselves as they were really aggravated and frustrated because you find a situation whereby the community invests in the transformer, because the case of Jos was something that is really different from the places we've been going. The issue is even about vandalism. In spite of the fact that the community resorted to even providing some repairs and even replacement of some faulty transformers, after that is done, within maybe few months or 3 months, the transformers vandalized. So the issue of carrying out repairs of such faulty transformers or even a replacement now becomes the duty of the community, which was something that the commission really frowned at. I know what they were doing, because it really showed to the commission as if there is some form of connivance in terms of vandalism. Because, like we've always said, electrical appliance is not a child's play. It is really somebody who has a technical know-how that can just go and it's fire we're talking about. Yes. But that was what the commission really found in Jos Electricity Distribution Company: vandalism. And then what really did not appeal to the commission is the fact that the consumers were the ones responsible for carrying out such repairs, and they did not even carry any form of awareness to the consumers to tell them that, oh, this is what you stand to benefit if you carry out any repair. Most of the time, some of them were even asked to write voluntary letters to show that it was in their own volition that they chose to fixed or repaired or even replaced. But when I tell you that most of the time what makes consumers to really even go into such investment blindly is because they are pressured. You can imagine what it means for you to be in darkness. If your transformer or any electrical appliance develops faults, you want to get the solution. And when you visit the business, that's the distribution company, they will tell you that they don't have funds. Yes, we agree that you might not have funds because some of these some of the issues of carrying out repairs, especially of major infrastructure, will require some budgetary provision. Okay, but there's a regulation to that effect. And the regulation provides that consumers who are willing to invest in your network area should be able to get return on their investment. So what we have been saying as a commission is that, engage the consumers whenever there is such complaints, where you know that you will not be able to meet up with certain obligation, and there's a provision for investment. Why not activate such regulation? You don't need to really bring any form of bureaucracy in it. If it is something that you can go ahead to do it now, because it's your obligation to carry out repairs or replacement of transformers. But what we know, even when at the course of the intervention, the distribution company will say, oh, you as their regulator, tell the consumers that they have to find a way of safeguarding this equipment.
Wow.
That kind of a thing. Oh, it's true that we have told consumers that they have obligation to ensure that they report any form of illegality they find or they see being perpetrated by the men of the underworld in their community, because we have also said that if this equipment, if the consumers see some illegality and keep quiet about it, it will affect us as consumers. But it does not in any way remove the obligation from the distribution company. I can tell you that even one of the things that I personally saw, which I even took a picture of, was the way they don't really safeguard some of this equipment. I took a picture and truly I showed the head of customer care the picture. I said, look at the way I saw this transformer. There's no kind of, you didn't provide any
barbed wires or anything.
Already open, And anybody can, even apart from the issue of, apart from even vandalism, what about the safety?
of the community
Children can even just walk into that the substation I saw, because it was not gated, not talk about even padlock. So if you leave your equipment like this, is that not is that not an open check for whoever wants to perpetrate any kind of anybody who wants to perpetrate any bad I mean, I'm looking for the word.
Vandalize
yes,
the equipment.
It's an easy access, for vandals to vandalize such equipment. Like we said, the responsibility of safeguarding. You remember last week, is it week before last?
2 weeks
One
ago.
of the things that we talked about was responsibilities of the distribution company to safeguard their equipment.
Exactly.
So, what we have also said that the consumers should also keep an eye on this equipment that are in our
Their custody.
that are in our communities, because the equipment are there to serve us as consumers. So it's a two-way traffic. The responsibility is more because the business is the owner of the equipment. Remember, even when the consumers even invest, immediately the distribution company take ownership of such equipment.
Yes, very true. It's
So
just like you have a business, for example, and then you open your shop in the morning, then you expect customers to help you look at your wares while you are the owner of that business. It's similar to what they are saying. You own these equipments, you own all of these infrastructures. And even though it's serving the community members, it's still important that as a distribution company, you have people check this once in a while. You don't just keep the entire responsibility on the community and then you expect that things should not go south. We all have our duties and responsibilities, and it's so funny what we're actually hearing.
Honestly. And like I said, that's why we always want the consumers to really be up and doing. I've said here time without number that whenever we have complaints as consumers, because some of the experience we have is that some of these complaints of faulty infrastructures were just made verbally, because where it starts is the documentation. Ensure that you understand, because for you to make our work very easy is when you document it. Because when we want to provide solution or resolution to some of these issues, and then we are unable to get any document to show that there was any form of commitment between you and the consumer, whether there was an action you took as a complainant or as a community, it's very important to us. I remember when we were even engaging one of the communities and then we're asking for certain documents. How did it start? They said they complained verbally. You understand? It's just because we were able to get certain, evidence that actually, because we know that the evidence is always that the equipment that the consumers have complained that was faulty is always on ground to show. And you understand?
They still didn't take it out of that location.
To make it easy for us, once we say, where is the letter of complaint made to the distribution company, informing them about the faulty event. So that's a very strong document to show. So what are we saying on this platform? We are talking to all our Nigerian electricity consumers to ensure that at any given point that they experience any faulty equipment that is used in servicing them, they need to complain to the distribution company in writing. While you complain, ensure that you have an acknowledged copy of that complaint and then you keep. If the issue is resolved, good and fine. Because for us, we don't even want to be reduced to Disco Resolution Center. Yes, it is their work. As part of their mandate as a service provider, they have that responsibility of resolving consumer complaints. It is only when the consumer is dissatisfied that the complaint is escalated to the Fccpc. It is not we're not the first point of call to the consumers to lay their complaint. It is when there is any form of dissatisfaction that the issue is expected to be escalated to us as a commission. Okay, so I've talked about the investment in network area. Let's always ensure that have an agreement with the distribution company. And like we've always said on this platform, the essence is that we must be able to get return on investment. And we must be able to know in the agreement, know when the return on investment will commence and when it will end. Because let's also know the total of, because it will help us to know that we're not being cheated. If you invest 1 million, for example, it is expected that you will get back your return of 1 million in credit. You understand?
Yes.
So that's why even having an agreement with the distribution company is valid. It's important. And then you will know for how long that 1 million is going to be shared among the community that contributed for this infrastructure. Very important. Documenting every of our processes is good. It's the only way that will show that there was transparency in the course of that kind of transaction, that kind of effort by the community. And like we've said, we have always also encouraged the distribution company to activate this network, investment in network area. That will be the only way that there will be fairness to the consumers. Because you are saying that you don't have the capacity. So, and I see no reason why you need to just prolong the matter and make consumers become aggravated or frustrated to that. I think this issue is very, very serious, because we have even seen communities that have even taken that pain to provide this
themselves
this equipment or infrastructure, and then in the end, the distribution company will not even energize the transformer, or not even a whole lot. So everybody has to be responsible. Everybody needs to be up and doing and play your own role. One of the issues again that the Commission also discovered in the special intervention program was the case of prolonged complaints that the consumers have filed with the distribution company without solution. It is this is very serious. At least the one that comes to my mind readily was the complaint that was filed in respect of a token. Some of these complaints I really don't feel good about, because I cannot even imagine. For me, complaint that has to do with all these token complaints are complaints, but there are some complaints that are serious, like when you talk about a faulty transformer that will need to go through repairs.
Yes.
The process is a bit, not straightforward. When you come to something that can just be manipulated and generated, like this token, why would somebody have a complaint about token that will linger for over 6 months? Do you understand? So these are some of the complaints that the Commission, met in Just Electricity Distribution Company. It's really not something that the Commission was happy hearing. And it's not just one person. You understand? So many people were involved. And even for a business, it doesn't really speak well. But for us, what we're after is the satisfaction of the consumer.
Yes.
Though the Commission also, we are also happy to see a very, economic well-being of economic well-being of Nigeria. But if the distribution company would not do what is expected of them by ensuring that there's a flow of service, how can Nigeria enjoy its well-being?
Not at all.
So it is one serious issue that the Commission also, provided intervention in that regard. And another complaint that we also found was lack of integrity of availability of payment channels. Because consumers complain that most of the time when the marketers come, they will pay them pay bills without any form of receipt. On this platform, we've talked about that repeatedly. We've always talked to consumers that they should ensure that any dealing they have with this distribution company is documented. Any payment is receipted. So, but there was no integrity in their payment channels. Most of the time, consumers don't really know where to go and make payment.
So one person might
when the marketers
collect
come,
money. Another person might come and say you've not paid.
They keep paying to particular officials, alleged officials of the distribution company without it. And the channels, to be honest, based on what we observed, it wasn't really open. There was no integrity in the payment channels based on what's the complaints that consumers also bring to us. And then another issue was non-metering of low-income consumers. What happened? Yes, what happened was that most of the people that they metered were all those premium customers. You understand? So these are issues that the Commission has actually taken up with the distribution company, even beyond the forum. You understand? This is something that is part of the decision that the Commission has taken to address this issue of non-metering of low-income consumers. And it is very, very serious for us. And then there's also blanket implementation of 2,000 naira debt recovery. So they came up with this policy of recovery of their debts, that every consumer that is owing the distribution company must pay 2,000 naira on a monthly basis.
Owing the distribution company as bills or what?
Oh yes, and then they actually, no, you understand, all the debts, for example, if I am owing the distribution company, let's say 1 million naira.
Yes.
Every month I want to vend, or I want to pay my bills.
I'll pay
2,000 naira from whatever I bring to make payment. It will be taken, and then, mostly the people who were really experiencing that were the people that were migrated from
meter to meter consumers.
So those are, if you now come, you want to vend for 3,000, be sure that 2,000 will be taken. You will only get 1,000. And if it is only 2,000 you have, you will not be eligible to vend. So those are some of the issues that the Commission tried to address, because it was blanket. You cannot imagine if I'm owing 10,000 and you are owing 1 million, and 2,000 naira will be taken from me. So most of we encounter certain consumers actually that came to ask for a kind of rebate, that please, they can afford only 1,000. They can only be, paying giving the distribution company 1,000 against the 2,000 naira the distribution company had, forcefully, asked the consumers to be paying on their monthly vending. So these issues and more, like I told you, can see that they are not the regular kind of electricity consumer issues.
Especially this one I just...
So they are really different things, because there's no distribution company that we've gone that we heard about, but unless maybe if such complaints were not brought to the platform. But for this just electricity distribution company, not only one person, not only two persons that came to lay this complaint, And one of the things also, that we can say is that the distribution company said that if the consumers who are owing them debt are willing to pay one off, they are willing also to give them 30%, discount, which, in this very difficult economy situation, most people will always choose their consumer, the consumer right to payment plan, which was what we activated.
They even know about that.
No, most of them don't even know. Even the distribution company appears not to know this provision, which we have to bring to their knowledge.
Yes.
Most of the time, some of these intervention program we organize, you will even see outrightly that some of the staff of the distribution company are not aware of certain rights of these electricity consumers, and that is the reason why they treat consumers, the way they do. So, as part of what we achieved in this special intervention program, the fact that consumers were also aware of their rights, because we gave them educational materials to ensure that they go through them. And truly, some of them, when they saw what was written in the educational materials, they were so surprised. They said they didn't know. They didn't even know, especially what even interested most of them was the investment in networking. Because I can never tell that there's anybody who came to the forum to say to us that they were, educated about this investment in network area, or they have benefited
from it.
Because I remember even us engaging the the distribution company, whether there was anyone that has benefited from the even though the head of customer care was trying to say, I specifically say, okay, do you have one? Do you have one person, one community that have
benefited from that? Yes.
Enjoyed the investments
network areas.
Network area regulation. So nobody, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't come up with any figure. So if they have, the commission is still, willing to know. But one of the things that at least it's worth noting or saying is that the electricity distribution company has commenced the reimbursement of their customers who keyed into MAP.
Yes, that's the meter asset providers.
The meter asset providers. They have commenced that, and then the commission for us will be monitoring that process to see the implementation and then the success of such reimbursement. The commission, of course, will continue to monitor that.
Well, thank you so much for this. Thank you so much. And this is we heard about Ibadan 2 weeks ago. So more stories and more complaints will be coming when this visit goes around 36 states of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Fccpc, and also thank you so much, MacArthur Foundation, for supporting this. Well, if you are tuning in, it's Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Fccpc Hour, brought to you by Fccpc and, of course, supported by MacArthur Foundation. And we have been talking about the intervention program that was done by Fccpc in Jos, talking about the complaints, talking about the negligence, talking about what consumers don't know. And I don't know if I should say it's funny or it's really sad that every week we always talk about these things. And that is why if you are listening to this program and you have someone somewhere, not even in Abuja, there are people that don't know about this. And that is why every week we always try to talk about this. Talk about investments in network areas. Talk about what consumers should do. Talk about disconnection. Talk about the rules guiding all of this. Talk about what discos should do. Because as an electricity consumer, that's your sweat. You should get value for what you are paying for. You shouldn't pay for darkness. We talk about billing. We talk about metering issues. But when we still interact with other consumers, when Fccpc goes out and then they do things like this, then the story becomes different. Just like what we have heard, a lot of consumers don't know about the return on investment, investing in network areas, and then they go on to purchase this equipment because they are pressured to. Businesses run with electricity. Households run with electricity. So imagine staying for 1 day without seeing lights. And then some communities have stayed for 6 months, 1 year without electricity. And then they say, okay, let's join heads together. Since we have tried to talk and then nothing is happening, let's buy this. They buy it, and then at the end of the day, we hear stories like this. And it's also happening in Abuja. There are still suburbs in Abuja that do not know about things like this. There are still people within the city center that do not know about things like this. That is why if you are listening to this program, we are really talking to you. Please tell others about Fccpc. Tell others about this program that happens every Monday from 11 a.m. till 12 noon. Let's educate ourselves. Let's educate electricity consumers, and let's build a community of informed Nigerian electricity consumers that can stand for their rights, engage with discourse, and then, of course, get value for the electricity they are paying for. Yeah, I know you want to call. I know you want to make your contributions, and I know you still want to give us feedback. But before that, Bridget, is there still another thing you want to add?
Yes. One of the issues also that was brought to the platform was the issue of faulty meters. When consumers make complaints on their faulty meters, or even sometimes consumers really don't make complaints in respect of those meters, it's the distribution company that will come on a routine inspection and then find out that some of the meters are faulty. So when we realized that there are people who came and complained that their meters were removed for over a year without replacement. And we know that under the regulation that is guiding faulty meters, when a meter develops faults, it is expected that the distribution company will carry out a replacement or fix the meter within 48 hours. And we have also, based on also the meter regulation, and let me also say this categorically or emphatically, that when it comes to dealing with consumers who are metered, once a consumer is metered, the consumer remains metered. It's metered for life. You don't have, the distribution company does not have any power, no power at all, you know, to place the consumer back on estimated billing or direct connection. Under the regulation, the distribution company, if you cannot replace the meter within 48 hours, what is expected of the distribution company is to, you know, carry out, get the previous average consumption of the consumer. And then that will be what the consumer, that's in the previous vending. You can, depending on the period, it can just be maybe for 6 months or a year. If you do that one, you will get the average consumption, and then that will be what the consumer will be paying, pending when you are able to meter him. And that will be fairness. But if you just, like, there was a difficult problem that we face, you know. The consumer, in the day the consumer was metered, the meter didn't work at all. So it became really difficult for us. Excuse me, and that's where the issue of protecting the consumer comes in. So we really need to find something to work with. So they took the meter for over a year. They never came back. What they did was to just allow him, and then they went back to billing him what they were billing. But we have to be fair. And I tell you, even the consumers themselves are actually fair. For us, what we said was, okay, to have balance, because they were saying that, oh, based on the cap, you know, if you are not a metered consumer, what will be used for you is cap. So, and they cap for the cap amount for the customer was 10,500. But it wasn't the consumer fault that his meter was not working. It was the distribution company that took the meter since September last year and didn't bring it back, even flaunting the regulation. The regulation says 48 hours, which is 2 days. So if you cannot do it, so whose fault? So what we did was that, we're just fair. We said, okay, knowing fully well that you said the current cap 10,500, okay, shall we just look for the highest amount that the consumer has been paying and let him even be paying? Because they feel like what he's paying for he's underpaying them. So in the end, from that 10,500, at least the consumer was able to get 5,000 naira to be paying. If the disco feels that the amount the consumer is paying is low, please give him his meter. We don't even mind that you meter the consumer that day. But when the disco is telling us that they are having challenges, they don't have, they are still expecting accessories, you know.
For over a year.
No, it's not over a year. I don't know when they procure the meters, but they were saying that they were expecting accessories for the meter. That's, for us, we have to take a decision. And for us, we will continue to be fair to all. We're fair in our dealings with the distribution. And for us, let me tell you, what we're even doing is even adhering to the regulation. It is the regulation that is stipulated that the commission just ensure that it's being followed to the latter. We are not even bringing out, because like I've always said, that the electricity industry is one that everything that is everything that is done in the industry is being regulated. Everything at all. They don't do it just anyhow. There's a provision that will need to be followed. It's not something that even when you want to pay the tariff, you know, it's regulated. Everything at all is regulated. So what the commission is doing is just to enforce such regulations.
Thank you so much once again for that enlightenment. Are you not enlightened? Have you not learned something? Thank you so much, Bridget. And thank you so much, Fccpc, and also MacArthur Foundation. Okay, it's time, the time you've been waiting for, and we would really appreciate it. We want to get your complaints, but we'd also really want to get your feedback. We want to get what you have learned so far. You've been listening to FCCP for a while now. What have you learned so far, and how have you implemented or engaged with the electricity distribution companies, and what happened at the end of the day? So if you're listening and you want to call in, kindly pick your phone and dial 090 9930 1011. Once again, 090 9930 1011. And if you want to send a text message or a message on WhatsApp, 070 25 999903. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Move away from your radio.
Hello?
Yes, switch off your radio. Switch off your radio.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, good morning. I'm Engineer Adegun Joseph calling from Madala.
All right, Engineer Joseph from Madala, please go on.
Okay. Actually, I've learned a lot with this program. But there's a place I want to point out.
Okay.
The moderator they said, if you are metered, if a consumer is metered,
Yes.
meter belongs to the consumer. I have a lot of meter that don't do that. That's my mystery. Mechanical extension. But it was demolished. After the demolition, where I'm staying here in Madala, I'm on billing. And then I discussed with the disco here that now my office has been demolished. Can I bring my meter down to Madala? It's my meter. I bought it with my money.
Yes.
I just want the moderator there to clarify, the FCCP person to clarify a meter that is being used in a place within the same electricity, within the same place. Can it be using? Can it be used somewhere else?
Okay. All right. Please just listen. When we take answer questions, we'll also add yours, please.
Okay.
We'll answer all the questions together.
Can
Thank
I just
you.
answer?
Okay,
Let him
please just
listen.
go on.
Let him listen.
Okay, keep on listening so you have a conversation with our.
Okay. Like, you got it wrong. When it comes to meter, you understand? Even when you buy the meter with your money, the meter is not your property. The meter is the property of the distribution company. And that is why we have said that when you key into meter asset providers, it is expected that the distribution company will reimburse you the money you have invested in the metering. You understand?
Okay.
Like I was listening to us earlier, I even said that the reimbursement process for metering has started in Jos Electricity Distribution Company, and we are hoping that other distribution company will follow suit. So you are supposed to keep that your receipt of the payment that you made, so that they will because they are expected to reimburse you the exact amount that you invested in the metering. So all electricity equipment actually belongs to the distribution company, because the cost of metering has even been factored in your tariff. That's why you are not even supposed. It's just to close the gap, because of the problems of overbilling and what have you, that all this program on metering were introduced. But the obligation of metering still remains that of the distribution company. And I can assure you that since the order has been given, the order is out for distribution company to reimburse consumers. Consumers will be reimbursed the cost of meter they have invested in their different distribution company. So the second leg of your question is whether you can move your meter. Well, even that you will need to discuss with the distribution company, because what we know is that these meters are programmed to specific areas where you live. Under the metering, you have, even for example, you used to be in Maitama extension. The tariff band they assigned you in Maitama will be different from the one they assigned you in Madala. You understand? So you cannot just outrightly carry the meter to a different environment, even though it's the same franchise area. But like I said,
Okay.
you will need to have a conversation, a discussion with the distribution company. If it is possible for them to reprogram the meter to suit your need, your new area where you are relocated, then that will be done. If it is not possible, then you will need to have a conversation on the way forward. And then I will be interested in knowing the feedback. You understand? I can give you our official line so that.
Okay, I would like to have that.
Yes, and we'll give our official line towards the end of the program and all our contact address so that we'll know the engagement you have had with the distribution company. We are interested in knowing that, please, so that it will benefit other consumers. Thank you so much. I hope this helps.
Yes, you are welcome.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Richard. And thank you so much for calling. Please just listen. You get the phone number towards the end of the program.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, this is Mwabweze from Apple.
Okay, Mwabweze from Apple. Please go on.
Yes,
I'm fine. I talk.
Very fine. Thank you.
My wife went to a meter.
Okay.
She first went on. So that I said that the meter is 8,000.
I didn't get you. Can you speak out?
It's 8,000.
Okay.
And we can't afford that kind of money. And some people not buy this meter with money. So why is it different now? We need to look into this matter.
Okay.
It's very, very expensive.
All right, so Mwabweze, thank you so much. Please just listen. We'll also take your question when we begin to answer questions. Thank you. Let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Can you move away from your radio? Hello, good morning. All right. Mwabweze was still on the call. Okay, sorry. I said we are going to take your question when we begin to answer question. Still 09099301011. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Olaiton from Suleja.
Olaiton from Suleja.
Yeah.
Please go on.
Please, you get what I want to ask. I bought my meter.
Okay.
And then I had not used it up to 2 months and the meter spoiled. And they come took it from February now up to now. I've never seen the meter. From April, rather.
Okay. So, thank you.
And they say they come say that order. I don't know what to do. They say I have to replace it by my money again. Something that I used that's not up to 2 months.
Okay. They've taken the meter away, Abby.
Yeah, they come took it. They say they cannot repair it. So I have to buy another meter.
Okay, so what did they do to you? Are you having electricity?
Huh?
Did they place you? Did they place you on direct connection, or what are you paying?
I just they connected direct first.
So how much are you paying so much bill?
I've never paid bill at all. It's new house. As I passed to the house, I just bought the meter direct.
Okay, I know. I'm saying that now, as it stands, are you paying bill or they have not started paying you?
They have never come.
Okay.
But you they get lights. Now it's who they ask.
No, they get light from house, boss. Nobody always will get light from here.
You they get light and then they bring bill for you. You they get lights and they know they bring bill for you. Now it's who they ask.
They get light. They know they bring bill.
For how long now?
Since April.
Since where they carry your
Since
meter
April.
go?
Okay. So you know what you want to do. What I want you to do, Mr. Olaiton. Can you write a letter of complaint to the distribution company and get an acknowledged copy? Do you understand? Write a letter to them and tell them that this is what you are experiencing with the distribution company, that you got your meter in February and then the meter developed faults. They took the meter in April and they are now asking you, yes, and they're asking you to buy another meter. So you tell them that you cannot buy another meter, that the Fccpc said that if your meter develops faults, that they are supposed to replace the meter within 48 hours. If they cannot, they are supposed to do, take the average consumption, which you're doing is just 2 months.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. So we'll give our electricity phone number at the end of the program so that you can talk to us if you are facing more challenges afterwards.
Okay, thank you, Olaito. Thank you. Another person here. Hello, good morning. Okay, Olaito, thank you for calling. And for anyone having similar complaints, please put it in writing. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Reduce the volume. We'll have to end the call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, please, when you are calling, switch off your radio. Hello, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go.
Good morning. My name is Anu Atuan. I'm calling you from Chika.
Okay, go on, Anu from Chika.
Okay. We have about 14 rooms in our compound in Chika. So NEPA came, we are paying for the past 3 years, we are paying one bill.
Okay.
So last year, when we have issue with our transformer, they now divided the so they are giving us the bill. But when they start with the bill, they start with 10,000 naira. Then between last year and this year now, we are paying bill of 5,000 naira. And that, the department, we are 3 in our line. Then they are giving us 25,000 naira to be paid. What other people are paying 3,000, but we are paying, me in particular, I'm paying nothing less than 8,650 naira every month. I don't understand. I don't know what we can do about that.
Okay, that's okay. You can end the call and listen from your radio.
Hello?
Okay, just end the call. You listen from your radio. We'll answer all the questions.
All right.
We'll answer yours too.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anu, from Chika. And let's take one call before we address questions. 090-99-301011. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, for the sake of security, I would not like to mention my name.
Okay.
I'm calling from Angwambuku.
Okay.
Also, in the area.
Okay.
And one where? I didn't quite.
I want to say that I was using a meter and my meter got spoiled.
Okay.
I went to the Aleka NEPA office. That was lastly, and I was compelled to pay for another meter. That's 63,100. So listening to you now, it's as if I've been defrauded by AEDC.
Okay.
That's one. Then secondly, I lodged a complaint to your office one time concerning bypass.
Can you speak a bit louder, please?
We are struggling to hear you, and you know you are not just speaking to us, you are speaking to everyone listening.
I lodged a complaint to your office one time, the WhatsApp line.
That's FCCPC.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not FCCPC, AEBC.
Okay.
Online concerning people doing bypass.
Okay.
Yes, and I discovered that it's a normal thing in the area where I live, and nothing is done.
Okay, thank you so much for the second observation. And it's FCCPC in the studio, not AEDC.
Maybe you have to say Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is the one in the studio, is the one doing the FCCPC Hour.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay.
But we'll still address the first question you asked.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Abdul. I'm living for Odede.
Please, we didn't get your name.
Abdul.
Okay, Abdul from...
Dede.
Okay, Dede, please go on, Abdul.
No, if you go by unit or ADC, the receipt, they're not write the rate for 1 unit. They're not write them. But you just give them one, they'll come out the VAT, come give it the unit pump. and all those people there.
Abdul,
Kashwa, yeah, you are not paying staff, yeah, because for those things they sell the unit. What I advise? I want advice. Maybe I tell the manager, make a right memo, put out for the president to sell the unit, make the right the band. It's not band A, make the right current price so. The band A so.
Okay.
The person will come in and read them. When they read them, nobody will see short.
okay.
And many people do so Akashwa. When you come to buy unit, they not go write it, the receipt, they not go write the price for one unit.
Okay.
So we just come out the VAT, come to the farm. Maybe they not cut the unit, something. Small time you go see accredited, don't finish. Then I tell the manager, make it right the current price for one unit, band A, so, band B, so. When you come up.
All right, Abdul, thank you for this observation, and thank you for this recommendation. Thank you. We'll take that feedback. Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you. Okay, let's begin to address questions.
Read this WhatsApp.
Okay, there's a message here. It says, good morning, presenter and your guest. My question is, there are cases of monthly overbilling, lack of reflection of amounts paid in Nasarawa State. Your AEDC staff are exploiting people to enrich themselves at the expense of the good work the incumbent governor, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, to ensure steady light supply. Umar Eke Edekudu from Lafia, Nasarawa State, sender.
Okay, thank God. Thank you for your. I'm happy that you are listening to us from Lafia. Of course, this program is also on social media platforms, so I can imagine maybe that's why you are getting to hear us. Well, in respect of the first part of your complaint that has to do with overbilling, you can write a complaint and ask for an adjustment to be done on your account because it's within your right. And even part of your electricity consumer rights, you have the right to contest your bill. Where you think that you have been overbilled, you can write a complaint to that effect and an adjustment will be done for you. And the second part is what was the second part? Okay, the distribution company is exploiting. Okay, I wanted to make a correction. You said your AEDC staff are trying to enrich. First of all, I am not from the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. I am of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. We are the ones that are saddled with the responsibility of protecting consumers. So this will be, if you have specific complaints in the manner and the way the distribution company is exploiting you, kindly, reach out to the commission in writing so that the commission will be able to engage with them and point out the specific areas that you are being, exploited by the distribution company. Generally, we know there are a whole lot of issues that has to do with electricity in Nigeria, but the commission is able to address specific complaints. And when it comes to exploitation, the commission will not waste any minutes, in trying to address the issue of exploitation. And because that's why the commission is first of all even established to do. And I think there are other people also that have. Anu from Chika is also complaining about overbilling. She has also said that before now they used to have one bill that 14 of them were using. So what we can advise is that you need to write a letter of complaint to the distribution company, because I didn't find out from you whether you have done so. If you have done so and then nothing has been done, it's time for you now to escalate it to the FCCPC, so that it is within your right to get, an adjustment if you have sensed any form of overbilling, because billing is supposed to be done in line with the capping order, in line with the tariff ban. Service reflective tariff, and then the value-added tax is actually a component, but the major, orders, the value, is fixed when it comes to the value-added tax, and then the other ones are the regulation that is in place for unmetered consumers. So either ways, you have the right to make a complaint so that a resolution process will be open on your behalf. It's within your rights. And we have to also say it so that consumers will know. that the Commission has always been advocating that every electricity consumer be metered, because the meter is the only, way that the your consumption can be determined. Is the only way that the one will be sure that the consumption that he or she has done is really for sure. It's really rather, thank you for the word, is accurate, because all these other methodologies that are being used are just really an assumption. But the surest way for accuracy is the metering. And we want every electricity consumer to be metered. And we'll continue to advocate metering for all of us as electricity consumers, because you being metered, if you have a meter, you'll be in charge of your consumption. If you don't have money you understand, if you are able to buy 1,000, you manage the 1,000. So you'll be in charge of your consumption. You will not be wasting electricity anyhow. So in the end, it will be beneficial to the consumer and be beneficial to the society, and also beneficial for the. I think Mr. Abdul was trying to talk about how the distribution company needs to also to always show them clearly where their tariff band are, and then the capping. The last I checked on the bills that are being given up, that are issued to consumers, those information are provided. I know the Commission actually advocated that there should be those information on tariff and caps be provided on bills. And where none is provided on your own bill, you have the right to visit the nearest business unit to demand for your tariff, to demand for your cap. And if you are not clear on what is provided to you on your bill, kindly reach out to the distribution company. Sorry, our number, electricity dedicated phone number is 081 1987 7785. 081 1987 7785. And then our office is located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street, Asokoro. Our social media platform is the same, at FCCPC Nigeria. At FCCPC Nigeria.
Can you just give a brief for the last the questions that we asked?
Okay, I've not answered all.
Olaiton from Suleja.
Yes, I've done that.
And the other person who called asking two questions.
Okay, you talked about the meter. I thought I had addressed it. He said his meter had developed faults since February, and nothing has been done. Okay, like I said earlier, I was thinking that what I said earlier had done for a lighter. It is expected that if your meter develops faults, it will be, repair or replace within 48 hours.
Yes.
And if that is not done, they are not supposed to place you on direct. So what is expected of them is to do an average consumption. But you have even said that they have not given you bill. So what I advise is for you to write, I think I advise that you should write a complaint letter to the distribution company to that effect. And sorry if I have not attended to any of your questions, like I've given our phone number, 081 1987 7785. You can continue this conversation with us. You can send us WhatsApp, you can send us SMS, and then you can call us. We'll be able to provide all the clarification that you need. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bridget, for that. And this is where we wrap it up today. Thank you for calling. Sorry we couldn't pick all your calls, but the phone number has been shared. So please use the phone number or visit FCCPC, that's the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, physically. My name is Harira Ismaila, and with me here has been Bridget Etin from FCCPC. Do join us next week, Monday, same time, same station. Until then, have a beautiful day.